that they put the blinkers on as early as they did. That is, I think it's hard to infer a positive from that.
Can be a telltale sign that things are not going to plan. Rocca Magica, things weren't really going to plan with this Garswood filly until she came here to Kempton last time and put up an improved effort.
Yeah, that was a good run. That was in a 0 to 65, was drawn in 10 of 12 that day. That was over 6 furlongs and finished a 1 length second behind Wolf Hunter. That was off 54. Rocca Magica is now 56. That should be a rise that is within range. And today, having raced over 6 here last time, now steps up to 7. I don't think that the extra furlong here would necessarily be a problem. And I thought that from a kinder draw here in stall 6, I thought David Probert's mount had a decent chance here. I must admit, Angus, if I had, if we took the first 3 in the market and we had a 3-ball with them, Burning Lake and Fast Endeavour, I think have a little bit to prove, and I thought that Rocca Magica of the 3 probably made a bit more appeal.
There's a gamble going on.
Another one?
We had one in the first. Look at this. Padura Brave now 12th from 33s. 72 joint favourites, however, Fast Endeavour and Burning Lake. Should we deal with the gamble? Padura Brave, horse number 6, Dave. Interesting, we should have 2 big moves, 2 races in a row. Mark Usher trains. Robert Havlin takes over on this horse from Ryan Tate. And when Ryan was on board last time, Padura Brave was well held, well beaten, in fact, at Salisbury. Yeah,
it was a 66 to 1 shot that day. And that was a 0 to 70. So, you know, we're looking for the positives for Padura Brave. And she is pitched into, in theory, easier company here. I don't think that these modest nurseries are easy to win, because you've still got horses that are basically, you've normally got a big field of horses who have failed in novice chases, and I think most of them that come in here are much of a muchness. So in theory, this is an easier opportunity. As you say, beat just 2 home at Salisbury. 1 run on the all-weather, that was on Tapeta at Wolverhampton, 3rd start, over 7 furlongs, and was beaten 10 lengths in 4th. So, yeah, I must admit, a bit like Lady of Authority in the first, I think that it's, you know, you have to piece together take a bit of a leap of faith again, don't you?
There was a little bit of promise early on. First run was at Newbury back at the beginning of July. Didn't run too badly. Finished 8th and was very green. And then ran all right at Windsor after that, finishing 5th of 14. But things really have gone wrong since then.
That's the thing. I mean, what we've got in 4 runs thus far is a horse who's really been regressive. There's no other word for it. Those were 2 good runs, or 2, you know, certainly promising enough runs at Newbury and Windsor, and Padura Brave hasn't matched that on her last 2, including in handicaps last time. Not only is she in a 0 to 60 here, but she's also come down 4 pounds in the weights. But there are as many negatives as there are positives about Padura Brave. I think that's fair to say.
I would prefer Rajman. Zoffany Colt, he ran very well to be 3rd here, behind Precision Prince. That was in a nursery in August, and was turned out in early September here back at Kempton, and was very badly hampered around about halfway, just after halfway, and couldn't recover.
Right, absolutely. Put a line through that run over 6 here last time, and I think you've got a horse with a very attractive profile here. Certainly attractive enough at, 6 to 1 here. Prior to that, had run over course and distance and ran well. That was handicap debut, ran well to finish 3rd to Precision Prince. Again, a horse who just beat 1 home on each of his first 3 outings in novices and maidens at Windsor, Wolverhampton and Newmarket, but was short of room last time over 6. That was something of a non-event just after the halfway point. And putting a line through that, I think that Rajman has an attractive profile here. I thought that
I thought he
had plenty going for him, and 13-2. I thought it would probably be a bit. Oh, well, he is a bit short on that now. He's 6s, but yeah, I thought there were positives about him.
Yeah, he's well drawn in stall 3 as well. He'll be able to adopt a decent position, as the first 3 home did in our first race over the same trip. They all took an inside route, let's put it that way. Not too many more to go. There's Fast Endeavour, Cameron Noble, the jockey change. 8 going forward is Burning Lake for Charlie Hills and Robert Winston, and there is number 7, Rocco Magica, who'll have a little bit of a shout for Ed Dunlop and David Probert. Let's go back to Richard.
Thanks, Angus. Just moving forward. Yeah, you're right. They were all on the rail, weren't they, the principals in the first race? Waiting for one, which is Where's Pearl, who's keeping the rest waiting at the moment, and you can see is a little bit on her toes. Just Where's Pearl to go, but she doesn't appear that anxious at the moment to go and join the others. She's just proving a little bit awkward. She broke away from her stall's handler on the lead rein there. She wants to get back on her haunches, and as a result, she keeps just slipping that rein that's used to lead her forward. And now the rider's jumped off. Where's Pearl? Doesn't change the horse's desire to escape the lead rein. She's really having none of it at all, and the rest have been in for a bit. So I'm not sure how many chances she's going to get if she doesn't prove a little bit more tractable here, because there's been quite a long hold. Keeping an eye on the starter. They're going to try and reverse her towards the stalls. As soon as she's facing the right way, she's going to get back on her haunches again. So, not too sure how many chances she's going to be given here. They might try a blindfold, but they'll need the rider on to do that. And going backwards seems to work to a point, but there will be a slight flaw in the argument when they reach the stalls. So, I think rider on, blindfold on's the permutation that we haven't really tried yet. So George Wood's back in the saddle. He's going to face a bit of a tricky task, because if she starts rearing up with the blindfold on, George has got to keep one hand on the blindfold and hands on the reins. Let's see if it makes it any easier. And it doesn't. And I think we're going to decide that's not the way to go. So horse is okay, rider's okay, but that's almost certainly a last chance indeed. They've gone without Where's Pearl, who refused to enter the starting stalls. Rajman broke okay in the orange colours, and Sony Kudi crossing over to sit outside the leader with Pajura Brave and also Fanny Grand in the pink colours. They're tracked by Seafaring Girl. Just worse than midfield at the moment, the pink and green colours of Burning Lake. Green jacket on the outside as Look Sharp. Then towards the inside we have Fast Endeavour. At the back, Yellow Fire is quite keen in the blinkers, but also a little bit awkward in them. And Rocco Magica disputes last with Look Sharp now last of all. So Rajman leads the turn, attended by Pajura Brave in second place on the outside. Seafaring Girl in third, ahead of the pink colours of Fanny Grand. Fast Endeavour travels okay on the inside in the pale blue, making some ground. In sixth place is Sony Kudi, who's pushed along. Still looking awkward is Yellow Fire, with on that one's outside Burning Lake. Still travelling okay is Rocco Magica, but is well back in the field at this stage as they pass the 3, and Look Sharp is last of all. So Rajman for Luke Morris leads. Pajura Brave is in second place in the check colours. Then Seafaring Girl. Fast Endeavour in the pale blue. Then towards the outside, Fanny Grand. They're still pretty well spaced out here, and Rajman's kicked for home, found a couple of lengths as well. Rajman out in front from Pajura Brave. Fast Endeavour's out in the clear. A few trying to hurdle home from a long way back, but they've given the leader a lot of rope here. It's Rajman out in front from Pajura Brave, who's trying to renew the challenge. Rajman just crossing slightly in front of Pajura Brave, who's getting to within half a length. Rajman still out in front. Pajura Brave try to close. Rajman joined on the line by Pajura Brave, who's got very close. They were clear of Fast Endeavour, who is just third ahead of Yellow Fire, and Burning Lake, the final bound. That's very tight indeed.
Well, has the gamble been landed? It may well have been. Pajura Brave challenging Rajman, who looked all over the winner, coming to the line.
Finish. Just to confirm, number 4, Where's Pearl, was withdrawn before the start. The horse refused to enter the stalls.
Thanks for that, Anthony. Pajura Brave and Rajman in the photo. I must admit, my first impression was that Pajura Brave got there.
I thought as well. I thought the first time cheek pieces, Pajura Brave. I thought Rajman had that when he skipped a couple clear. I'm saying this through clenched teeth because I think Rajman has just been done.
Yeah, I fancied Rajman, and look how far clear they've pulled. They've dominated this race. They were both 1-2 throughout, and they've dominated it. But Rajman's very much to the
result of the photo
There
finish.
we go.
First place. First and number 6, Padura Brave.
Yeah, got there.
Second,
Gamble landed.
10.
Robert Havlin on Mark Usher's Padura Brave was wearing cheek pieces for the first time and has gone in. The returned SP was 14-1. Look at the closing stages again there. I thought Rajman had the race shot to bits at this
I
stage.
don't want to watch
honest.
this last few seconds if you don't mind. Yeah, had a lead of a couple of lengths, and in fact, inside the final furlong, there was a point at which I felt that Padura Brave, that here, wasn't actually making any more inroads. Richard said in commentary, I think, that Rajman was just tending to edge across the winner, but to his great credit...
Oh, that's Where's Pearl before the start. Withdrawn, George Wood up okay, horse up all right. But they weren't going to try again after that, quite rightly so. The others had been in the stalls a long time. Now, Rajman, this is perfect, isn't it? Jumps from his low draw, Dave, in stall 3, and can dominate against the rail, go the shortest way round. But Padura Brave is upsides, and they're 1-2 throughout.
As in the first race, I think that being towards the head of the head of affairs has been something of an advantage here. Rajman is, if anything, just slightly keen in the lead. The first 2 horses are in the first 2 positions there. Immediately behind, you can see Seafaring Girl and Fanny Grand. The horse who finishes 3rd is Fast Endeavour. That's in the Midland Park colours in 5th towards the far rail, and just in behind that one is Soni Kudi, who was making her nursery debut here. But push comes to shove on a few here. The whip hand is raised by Ross Orion on Fanny Grand. Push comes to shove on Padura Brave, and at this point, when Rajman skips a couple of lengths clear, I think that...
Tell you what, he must have traded short in running, wouldn't he? He must have been very short in the run, well, one would have thought.
Yellow Fire in first time blinkers is the horse towards the far rail, who seems to be finishing strongly, but again, the first 2 have got a fair break on the 3rd horse at the line. There must be, what, 3-4 lengths between them? Look at this, Angus. It just looks as though Rajman's